Catholics across the globe are mourning the death of Pope Francis. Now, the Catholic Church has entered a period known as the vacant see, where the senior cardinal will be running the day-to-day affairs of the Vatican until a new pope is elected. We'll be telling you a brief history of who Pope Francis was even before taking over the reins at Vatican City. Good afternoon and welcome to our broadcast. My name is Abdiaziz Hashim. The sign language interpreter at the bottom end of the screen is Anne Wangeshi. And we start on that note where Pope Francis, the first Latin American to lead the Roman Catholic Church, has died at the age of 88. Cardinal Kevin Farrell, the Vatican, that is Camerlengo, announced the Pope passed away on Easter Monday at his residence in the Vatican's Casa Santa Marta. During his 12-year papacy, Pope Francis faced numerous health challenges while guiding the Church through a time of profound change and global unrest. The late Pope Francis attended the last Mass in his Vatican yesterday to celebrate the resurrection of Jesus Christ. In April 2024, the late Pope Francis approved an updated edition of the Liturgical Book for Papal Funeral Rites. According to the Archbishop Diego Ravelli, Master of the Apostolic Ceremonies, the late Pope Francis had requested that his funeral rites be simplified and focused on expressing the faith of the Church in the risen body of Christ. Now, let's take a look at the legacy of Pope Francis, where Pope Francis' legacy has been shaped by his loud calls for social justice and inclusion. The Pope has also defied Catholic conservationism to spearhead interreligious dialogue with Christian and non-Christian groups.
Pope Francis was born on December 17, 1936 in Buenos Aires, Argentina, as Jorge Mario Bergoglio. Bergoglio was the son of Italian immigrants. Having grown up a devout Catholic, he studied at the Archdiocesan Seminary of Villa Devoto before joining the Society of Jesus in 1958. He graduated as a philosophy candidate from Colegio Maximo di San Jose in San Miguel. He also studied humanities in Chile and also graduated from a theological college in Argentina.
Padre del Figlio dello Spirito Santo.
Following the completion of theological classes, Bergoglio was ordained as a priest on December 13, 1969. Apart from being a priest during his early years, he also played administrative roles within the Jesuit movement, which catapulted him to the position of Provincial Superior of the Jesuits in Argentina in 1973. In 1988, he was appointed the Archbishop of Buenos Aires. His continued soaring in his pastoral leadership work got yet another hallmark when Pope John Paul II made him a cardinal in 2001. Following the resignation of his predecessor, Pope Benedict, Cardinal Bergoglio was elected as the 266th Pope on March 13, 2013, making history as the first Pope from South America and the first from the Jesuit order. His papacy has largely been characterized by a focus on reform and outreach to marginalized communities. As part of his call for reform and regard for humanity, the Pope published a proclamation dubbed Laudato Si', meant to address the global responsibility on matters of the environment. The Pope has also been vocal on the need to wholesomely address poverty and inequality. The Pope has also appeared to veer off from conventional Catholicism by making significant efforts to promote unity between Catholics, non-Catholics, and non-Christians. It is under his papacy that the Vatican made a landmark ruling allowing priests to bless same-sex couples. His papacy has also seen the institution of various reforms within the Vatican meant to address allegations of corruption and opaqueness while modernizing aspects of the Catholic doctrine and systems of governance. The Pope went on record to address allegations of sexual abuse by clergy that have rocked the Catholic Church for ages, offering apologies to survivors. While in office, the Pope has made significant pastoral trips across the world, advocating for peace and social justice. One of those visits was in Kenya, when he came calling in November 2015 as part of his first state and pastoral visit to Africa. During his visit, he met with the then President Uhuru Kenyatta and held meetings with various members of the clergy. He also conducted an open mass at the University of Nairobi after visiting the poor living in Kangemi, where he emphasized the importance of social justice and the need to address poverty. John Jacob Curia, Channel 1.
Well, that was a brief history of who Pope Francis was during his tenure as the Catholic bishop there, as the Pope of the Vatican itself. Now, quickly, let's take a look at some of the condolences messages that have been, of course, put on social media by none other than President William Ruto, who's leading the charge. He says, and I quote, "We join the Catholic Church and the global Christian community in mourning the passing of Pope Francis. This is a big loss to the Catholic faithfuls and Christian world." Now, Pope Francis will be remembered for the life he dedicated to serving the Lord as well as the church and humanity. He exemplified servant leadership through his humility, his unwavering commitment to inclusivity and justice, and his deep compassion for the poor and the vulnerable. President Ruto continues to say his strong ethical and moral convictions inspired millions across the world, regardless of the faith or background. May his soul rest in peace. That was President William Ruto. His second-in-command, Professor Abraham Kithure Kindiki, they says the death of Pope Francis is a monumental loss to the Catholic faithfuls across the globe. He inspired millions of people and lived a simple life of grace and service to others. May his legacy live on, and may his soul find eternal peace. Moving on to the Prime Cabinet Secretary, also who doubles up as the Foreign Cabinet Secretary, that is Musalia Mudavadi, says, and I quote, "A light to the world has dimmed today. We mourn the passing of Pope Francis, a shepherd of hope, peace, and unwavering faith. His legacy of compassion and unity will endure across the generations. May his soul rest in eternal peace." Also, the Speaker of the National Assembly, Moses Masika Wetangula, has also joined in the fray, and he says, and I quote, "A beacon of humility, compassion, and social justice, Pope Francis dedicated his life to serving God and humanity. His unwavering advocacy for the poor, tireless pursuit of peace, and call for unity touched hearts worldwide." He goes on to say that through his words and action, he embodied Christians' teachings of love, mercy, and forgiveness, championing dignity of every human being, regardless of race, nationality, religion, or status. Those are the few words from the leaders across the country, led by President William Ruto. Talk to us on our social media platforms. Despite you not being a Catholic, whichever religion you do conform to, tell us, what do you know, or how do you feel this particular news of Pope Francis now passing on? Tell us on our social media platforms at KBC Channel 1 and at Abdiaziz Hashim 2. To other news now, 4 people are feared dead after a septic tank collapsed in Bamburi Mwisho area in Nyali, Mombasa County. The 4 were among a group of people watching a football match at a hall that was built above the septic tank that suddenly caved in. Rescue operations are ongoing as a multi-agency team comprising both national and county government works to determine the number of individuals still trapped. Residents have called on the Mombasa County government to conduct a crackdown, as this is not the first time such an incident has occurred in the area.
Walikuwa katika harakati ya kuangalia mpira, shimo likabomoka, wakaingia ndani. Mpaka sasa hawajapatikana. Kana shimo lilikuwa kwa chini kwa sababu ma-TV yameingia na kuna tanki la maji na baraza zake, kila kitu limedudumia.
Ujenzi ama kitu ambacho mtu yote ambaye yajenga kitu chochote bila proper approval na ama document huwa ni jambo la kusikitisha sana. Naomba tu wananchi tuweze kucooperate pamoja, manake tukiangalia juzi Mwakirunge kule same case, ukiangalia juzi nyumba pale bala. Wallahi ni jambo la kusikitisha sana.
Hiyo pale ya video ya kuangalia mpira imejengwa juu ya septic tank. Kwa bahati mbaya hiyo septic tank ili cave in, ikabomoka, na inasemekana kati ya watu wawili tu watu wanne wako huko ndani. So kwa wakati huu tumeongea na the county disaster team ambaye mimi ni chairman pamoja na governor Abdul Samad. Tumeongea na yeye, tunapanga equipments ambaye zitakuja kuweza kuokoa hii watu, ndio tuweze kujua na hasani watu wangapi wako hapo ndani.
And in other news, several families in Kagina Village, Kangema constituency, Murang'a County, have been left homeless after their houses were swept off by floods. The floods has also cut off various sections of the Mau Mau Road. The residents living in the areas vulnerable to flooding and landslides have, in the meantime, been urged to move to safer areas as a precaution. The heavy rains that continue to fall on various parts of the country have caused serious damage to communities due to flood and landslides.
Nyumba imelaliwa na mchanga, na kuna vitu zingine zilikuwa huko ndani kama vitanda. Yaani kila kitu ya nyumba imelaliwa huko.
Yaani hatujaona maneno kama hiyo tena. Barabara haipitiki, kukuja kama vile mmeonea, kuingia pale tukashindwa vile tutokea.
Wakati kama huu kuna mvua kubwa, inafaa watu wawe waangalifu sana, waangalie mahali wenye wanakaa, ndio waone kama kuna sababisho inaweza tokea ya kichanga, watu wakuwe wanahamia mahali wenye watakaa kama hawana shinda.
Hiyo nyumba ilikuwa imegongwa vibaya, na mheshimiwa leo ametutuma tuwaletee chakula kama first aid, tukigojea msaada mwingine.
Elsewhere, at least one person has been confirmed dead and 4 others left with severe injuries following a clash between two factions over ownership of a 120-acre piece of land in Ndithini division of Masinga, Machakos County. The land under the title G Farm is at the center of the controversy, with the two parties claiming ownership. Ndithini Location Acting Chief John Duda confirmed the incident, saying a person who had claimed to have bought the piece of land had come to develop it only to find strangers at the farm, which led to a scuffle that degenerated into a deadly confrontation.
It is a fatal clash that has left one dead and 4 others nursing injuries at the hospital.
Jana ilikuwa mwendo wa kitu saa 9 hivi. Tulipokuwa tunafanya kazi kwa shamba la Kennedy. Tulipoenda lunch ndio tukaona watu wengi wameshakuja, wakatufahamia wakiwa na masiraha, na sisi hatukuwa na chochote. Saa hizo sisi tulianza kutoroka, ndio wameanza kutusambulia na mapanga, mishale na rungu.
The bone of contention is this 120-acre piece of land in Ndithini division of Masinga sub-county, Machakos County.
Tunaomba usaidizi wao kwa vyovyote vile watusaidie. Tunaomba gavana kuja hapa kwetu, utuangalilie hii mashida yetu inasumbuka hapa. Na sasa ndiye president wetu Dr. Ruto, angalia mashida yetu sisi, tumeumia kwa siku mengi sana.
Tunakaa kuoga sana. Sasa hii niko na mtoto, nakimbia nipande huko kwa mlima, sababu nikikaa hapa nikuje nikamatwe na mtoto.
Tunahangaika mpaka 75, tulibomolewa vitu yote, tukalala nje. Hata wasasa mzee wangu alipigwa na mtoto wangu, alikuwa anakalishwa hapa, wanapigwa na miba, na mimi nikakalishwa pale nikapigwa na kiboko.
That led to 2 factions, one led by the squatters who have lived on this farm for several years, and another led by the supposed owner who came to take his land back.
Huyo kuna mtu mmoja hapo, huyo ni mkubwa sijui wa DCA, akanikamata akanifuruta akaniambia ingia kwa gari. Mimi niliingia, tulikuwa mama 3 na wanaume 2, tukapelekwa Ndithini. Sisi tulikuwa tunadhani tu tunaenda kuandika statement. Tulipofika Ndithini nikawaambia maybe mimi mnielezee venye inaandikangwa, mimi sijui. Tulipofika huko tuliitishwa majina na tukawekwa sel.
Usiku nimelala hapo nikichunga mali yangu isiibiwe. na sijui nitaenda wapi. Bibi anakaa nje, analala kwa majirani. Sasa nitashindwa nitaenda wapi? Mimi ni msaliwa wa hapa.
Ndithini Location Acting Chief John Dunda confirmed the incident, saying a person who had claimed to have bought the piece of land had come to develop it only to find strangers.
Na baada ya kuja kuanza kufanya development, kukatokea wale ambao walikuwa wamekaa hapo kwa muda mrefu ambao wanafikiria ni yao, wakaanza kuresist. Alafu sasa vita ikatokea, ukaumia watu 5. Alafu leo nimefika kwa hiyo scene kuangalia, kutembea, na nikatembea nikaona kwamba kuna nyumba ambazo ziliangushwa na fence ikakuwa imewekwa na bado hajamalizika.
The land under the title G Farm is at the center of the controversy, with the two parties claiming its ownership. The squatters, led by Benedict Musyoka, said they have settled at the farm for years.
Kulikuwa na watu walikuwa, kuna watu waliingia huku na wakasema huku ni kwao, so inafaa tutoke. Chenye walifanya ni kukata mitunda. Kuna michungwa ilikatwa hapo kama iko na matunda. Miembe wakakata hii side nyingine. Nyumba wamebomoa, saizi imefika nyumba 6 zenye zimeangushwa na hakukuwa na notice yoyote.
Hakuna usaidizi wa machief, hakuna usaidizi wa ndio, hata mwishowe hakuna usaidizi wa DC.
Sasa hata tunashindwa, tuko kwa serikali gani ambao ile na tunachagua watu kazi yao ni nini? Tulianza kupigia sub chief simu, wakatuambia tuondoke hapa.
Speaking to Kenneth Kinara via the phone, the alleged owner of the contested farm confirmed that his farm manager, who was among the 5 individuals attacked, had suddenly succumbed to his injuries, while another remains in critical condition.
And I have helped in the development of that place, creating jobs, and then this portion belongs to a close relative. And they bought it when it's part of the scheme that is G, and they have, even the DCI have confirmed that land, even the NLC, National Land Commission, knows that is our land.
The area chief confirmed that investigations are ongoing.
I can see some of your comments have started streaming in, especially on YouTube. Quickly, let me go through them. Joel is saying, Pole sana to the Catholic family. Esther Angiza is saying, may his soul rest in peace, Pope Francis. Also, Clinton Ochichi says, Poleni Catholic family, please let's stay humble and ourselves and follow God's 10 commandments, not forgetting to love one another. Continue sending in your feedbacks at KBC Channel 1 and at Abdiaziz Hashim 2. We need to take a short commercial break. Don't go too far.
Greetings in the name of the Most High Jah Rastafari. My good name is Marley Moses, the positive warrior, alongside...
Yes, sir, DJ D-Rage, the baddest. Each and every Wednesday from 10 p.m. on KBC Channel 1 TV.
Tunakuletea the biggest reggae party in 254 in a yard extra. Extra niceness of reggae music.
Extra dose of entertainment.
When the thing is nice, we have
to do it twice.
Baba, kama wapenda, ukiondoe kwangu kikombe hiki. Ukiondoe kwangu kikombe hiki. Hata hivyo mapenzi yako. Baba. Baba.
Welcome back and thank you for staying with us. Continue to engage us on our social media platforms across all platforms in regards to the demise of Pope Francis. We had sampled a few of your comments and we'll continue sampling them in the course of the bulletin. But one other news now, an initiative that aims at empowering the youth has been unveiled in Samburu County. The initiative, spearheaded by Hezena Lemaletian Foundation, aims at to improve the performance of local students and embrace a positive attitude. Speaking during the mentorship program in Maralal Town, nominated Senator Hezena urged the government to give the youth a chance in job opportunities, especially those from marginalized communities.
Those are the people you can.
Kulingana na mafunzo Hezena Lemaletian ametupatia leo ni kwamba kwamba kupitia hii masomo ambayo tunaona kwamba vijana wengi wataepukika na mihadarati na madawa za kulevya.
She told us more about not trying to be in other people's levels and trying to imitate other people's clothing, that you should be yourself, and a lot will work out for you in the college.
One thing I would urge the government to really consider is that in the employment spaces up there, we have in our constitution, there is a percentage of opportunities reserved for marginalized youth in every ministry, in every top government office. I wish the government can reinforce the agenda of equitable distribution of opportunities within its own state departments. I sincerely wish that they adhere to our constitution, and before they start creating massive jobs for the youth countrywide, they start by actually ensuring that in every state department there is a number that is needed as far as our constitution is concerned for the marginalized youth.
Now back to the pulpit, where the message of remembering the less fortunate during the ongoing Easter festivities reverberated in different parts of the country as Kenyans gathered to celebrate with their families. In Nairobi County, hundreds of young and old folk Gravity Amusement Park along Eastern Bypass to celebrate the resurrection of Jesus Christ. Amidst the merrymaking, those who spoke echoed the importance of Kenyans being their brothers' keepers at the time when they're grappling with various social and economic constraints.
Because this is the time ambayo kama umesherehekea umefasti mwezi wa Easter na umekuwa pale na mwenzako pia, angalia mwenzako. Na pia kama una uwezo, mbai hata unga. Kama mtu akona deni mahali msaidie, hata kwa kazi msaidie.
As Jesus is resurrecting, I believe that we also need to resurrect with those who are also suffering so that we can free them from their troubles where necessary.
And I will encourage everybody out there who is feeling down or frustrated, or maybe you're suffering from a certain sickness or whatever, that because Christ has resurrected, all is done.
Pia hii ndio time fit ya kusherehekea na watu wasiojiweza kwa sababu hatujui wako mahali gani pia.
Now to the coast, where over 20 destitute residents from Malindi dam site were treated to an adventure of a lifetime after a charitable association took them for a surprise excursion at the Marine National Park. The trip offered a much welcomed escape from the harsh realities of their lives at the dump site, with the visibly happy lot expressing gratitude for the remembered during the Easter festivities.
The Malindi Dam site is home to several homeless people in destitute conditions. For them, the Easter festivities would have been just another day under the sun without much to celebrate. But as fate will have it, the Progressive Welfare Association of Malindi and the Kenya Wildlife Service came together to give these families a day that will forever be entrenched in their memories. From the dam side, these families, comprising adults and children, were taken aboard 3 glass-bottom boats for a one-of-a-kind ride to enjoy the open waters and the marine life the park has to offer. The young ones weren't left behind either, as they had a chance to swim under careful supervision. The excited Lord say this has been an Easter to remember.
Tumekuja na watoto 4 na tunasimu kwa bahari katikati, tunaangalia samaki. Tulikuwa hatujawahi kufika mahali kama hapa, lakini leo Mungu ametujalisha tumefika mahali.
Lakini wametujumuisha kwamba sisi pia ni watu, tunaweza fanya vitu vingine. Kwa hivyo hii safari ya leo tumeipenda na tumefurahia, na tunaomba katika hatua zingine zinapopigwa tuwe pamoja na wao.
The organizers expressed optimism that this treat will inspire residents to believe that despite their current state, a better life awaits with faith and hope at the heart of it.
And it's our duty as conservationists to ensure that we nurture them so that they can protect the tourism attractions which we have here.
So this is also part of integration, because they are actually diverting as much as they live in the dump site. They are doing a lot of work. They are the main people who are segregating.
This kind gesture not only bridging the gap between the have and the have-nots, but also sparking hope, pride and a renewed sense of belonging.
A section of stakeholders in Embu County have raised concerns over increased cases of suicide in the area and called for concerted efforts from relevant bodies in addressing matters of mental health. This clarion call was made following the death of a 38-year-old Mike Jackson Murithi on Sunday morning in what is believed to be as a result of suicide. His death has swept a quiet wave of grief through Gakindu village in Manyata constituency, with questions about the mental health of young people being raised. Murithi, a casual laborer and the third born in a family of 7, was found lifeless at his home, with family members saying he had battled alcohol use.
So asubuhi tumempata amejiang, alikuwa hana maneno mingi, kwa kijana wa kujitafutia, so ni huzuni tu hapa.
Huyu kijana kutoka ni mjue, alikuwa kijana hardworking. Kijana alikuwa tu anatumia ni pombe, napata amekuja amelewa, lakini kuchukua kitu ya mtu, kuimba nje, sijaisikia kitu kaa hiyo, ila tu tuseme pengine anaweza kuwa alikuwa na stress zake.
Kwa familia na wenye kijiji tuna huzuni mwingi, maana tumepoteza kijana mdogo. Niomba tu kama serikali waweza kutusaidia kwa counseling ya vijana, kwa maana inaonekana kuko na shida mingi sana ya vijana.
Zit FC braced chilly conditions to win Sami K football tournament held at Sotit grounds in Koinin, Bomet County. The team defeated Galaxy FC 2-0 in the final to take home a cash prize of 25,000 shillings. Chepalal FC secured a third place, winning 15,000 shillings, while Lopokwo FC settled for fourth position with a cash reward of 10,000 Kenya shillings. The tournament was aimed at promoting the youth talents and sensitizing students on the benefits of enrolling in technical and vocational education and training institutions.
Sisi kama team set kutoka Kimarwandi tunashukuru tumeweza kufuzu na tumekuwa nambari wa kwanza. Tujiunge na TFET juu imesajiliwa na serikali na unaweza kujihusisha na michezo kadhaa, sio soka pekee. naweza cheza volleyball na michezo kadhaa.
Naomba serikali tafadhali saidi ya Konoin hakuna kiwanja mzuri. Kama mnaweza tafuta mbinu yoyote ya kuengarisha hii kiwanja, vijana wacheze.
Essence of this tournament, soccer tournament, is to create awareness about the youth who are not aware about the training opportunities, the training skills opportunities that we have in our TVET space. Yet, a number of them, they love the sport, they love part of so many of their talents, and therefore we wanted to create an awareness that truly speaking, we have the talents in soccer, in any other sport, but this talent would not last a lifetime. So we want to transition them to talent creation and as well skills acquisition.
And before I go, some of the results from the English Premier League were Fulham, of course, against the Chelsea, and Chelsea barely survived. They won that 2-1. Arsenal thumped Ipswich 4-0. And, of course, Manchester United, as always, they were beaten by Wolves 1-0. And then Leicester barely got Liverpool to ensure that Liverpool does not take the league early. They were beaten 1-0 by Liverpool. We continue to, of course, update you on the latest in regards to the demise of Pope Francis. Syria have suspended all their matches so that they can be able to mourn their Pope. We'll have more for you in our subsequent bulletins. My name is Abdiaziz Hashim. The sign language interpreter at the bottom end of the screen is Anne Wangesh. Good afternoon for now.
Wellness is important in our daily lives so that instead of just surviving, we should be thriving.
Ways to prevent a stroke or heart attack is for you to know what conditions you have. By regular checkup, people don't know they have hypertension, they don't know they have diabetes.
I was pre-diabetic. I was afraid of getting lifestyle diseases because I come from a family that has lifestyle diseases.
How do you know if your cough is due to a serious condition? We'll have some answers. Stay well
and strive to make every day a healthy day.
Got the fear of missing out? Want to keep up with all the latest entertainment news and latest celebrity gossip? From the latest rumors to popping events to the newest fashion trends, here is where you get all the tea or juice when it comes to entertainment, and you get it served on time. All that and so much more on Grapevine every single Monday from 10 p.m. and a rerun every Tuesday from 2 p.m. only on KBC Channel 1. Remember, if you did not see it on Grapevine, then it most probably never happened.
Baba, kama wapenda, ukiondoe kwangu kikombe hiki. Ukiondoe kwangu kikombe hiki. Hata hivyo mapenzi yako. Baba.
Nani amekupiga?
Baba.